When you walk into any coffee shop, restaurant, or retail store, look closely at the people around you, their behavior, their choices, the way they handle money. What you are witnessing is a real-time demonstration of why some people build wealth while others remain trapped in financial mediocrity. The stark reality is that most individuals are living paycheck to paycheck, and it is not because they do not earn enough. The statistics are genuinely shocking. When researchers surveyed Americans about their ability to handle a basic $400 emergency, they discovered that 1 out of every 3 people simply cannot cover it. $400, less than most people spend on their monthly car payment. Yet it represents a financial catastrophe for millions of working adults. This financial fragility spans across all income levels, education backgrounds, and career paths. Being broke is not really about how much money flows into your bank account each month. You have probably met people who earn 6 figures, yet live in constant financial stress, while others with modest incomes seem perfectly secure. The difference is not luck, and it is not about having wealthy parents or a head start in life. The difference lies in the everyday decisions people make with their money. These decisions create patterns. Patterns become habits. And habits determine whether you will spend your life stressed about money or whether you will achieve genuine financial freedom. The tragedy is that most people are completely unaware of the specific behaviors that keep them financially stuck. They blame external circumstances or bad timing when the real causes are hiding in plain sight. Let us examine the most common reasons people stay broke and how to avoid these wealth-destroying mistakes. No clear financial direction. The first reason people stay broke is simple but critical. They operate without any clear financial direction. If you were planning a cross-country road trip, you would not just get in the car and drive randomly, hoping to reach your destination. You would plan your route and know exactly where you are headed. Yet this is precisely how most people manage their finances. They earn, they spend, they occasionally save, but they have no specific destination in mind. Without clear goals, every financial decision becomes arbitrary. When someone has a specific target, eliminating debt within 2 years, or saving for a house down payment, every spending choice gets filtered through that objective. Instead of asking whether they can afford something, they ask whether that purchase brings them closer to or further from their goal. No emergency fund. The second reason is a complete lack of preparation for life's inevitable surprises. Unexpected expenses are not truly unexpected. Cars break down, appliances fail, medical issues arise. When people are unprepared, they are forced into desperate decisions. Putting a car repair on a credit card, borrowing from family, or ignoring the problem entirely. Each of these choices creates additional financial stress and leads to even more expensive problems later. No spending plan. The third wealth destroyer is living without a budget. Most people would never run a business without tracking income and expenses, yet they run their personal finances in exactly this careless way. Without tracking, it is impossible to identify the small spending leaks that drain your resources. Those $5 coffee purchases, impulse buys at the grocery store, forgotten subscription services, they add up to significant amounts every month. Ignoring the future. The fourth reason is living entirely in the present moment. There is an understandable appeal to spending freely and enjoying life today, but when present-focused thinking completely ignores future consequences, it becomes financially destructive. People spend money on immediate pleasures while assuming their future financial needs will somehow take care of themselves. The goal is not to sacrifice all enjoyment. It is to find the right balance between living today and securing tomorrow. Costly daily habits. The fifth wealth destroyer involves expensive habits people rarely recognize as significant financial drains. Consider someone who smokes a pack of cigarettes daily. At current prices, this habit costs roughly $250 per month, $3,000 per year, and $30,000 over a decade, not including the compound growth that money could have generated if invested instead. Frequent restaurant dining adds another $500 to $800 monthly. These are not small expenses. They are wealth transferred directly away from your future. Misusing debt. The sixth reason involves a failure to distinguish between productive and destructive debt. Productive debt helps you acquire assets that generate income or appreciate in value. A mortgage on a rental property, education that significantly boosts earning potential, or a business loan for a profitable venture. Destructive debt finances things that lose value immediately. Credit card balances for vacations, car loans for vehicles beyond your actual needs, and consumer financing. This type of debt charges interest on depreciating assets while stretching your budget beyond sustainable limits. Spending to impress others. The seventh reason is making purchases based on what others might think rather than what makes financial sense. Someone buys an expensive watch not because they need it, but because they want colleagues to notice their success. Another person leases a luxury car they can barely afford to project an image of prosperity. The real irony is that genuinely wealthy people often display the opposite behavior. They drive modest cars, wear simple clothing, and live in comfortable rather than impressive homes. Every dollar spent on appearances is a dollar not building wealth. Meanwhile, people who are actually struggling are often the ones spending the most to look rich. Paying yourself. Last. The eighth wealth destroyer is a backward approach to money. Most people pay all their bills first and hope something is left over to save. But life consistently expands to consume available income, meaning there is rarely anything left. The solution is to reverse this sequence entirely. Before paying any bill or making any purchase, automatically redirect a set amount to savings and investments. Treat your own financial future as a non-negotiable expense. Only then spend what remains. This single shift forces you to live on less than your full income and prevents the lifestyle inflation that keeps most people broke. Avoiding all risk. The ninth reason is excessive financial caution. Some people are so afraid of losing money that they keep everything in low-interest savings accounts while inflation quietly erodes their purchasing power. They avoid stocks, real estate, or business opportunities, not realizing that staying completely inactive is itself a form of risk. The risk of remaining financially stagnant while the cost of living rises around them. Successful wealth building does not mean eliminating risk. It means learning to take calculated risks that offer reasonable potential rewards while protecting yourself from catastrophic losses. Relying on a single income. The 10th wealth-destroying pattern is thinking about money purely in terms of trading time for dollars. Most people work a regular job, collect a paycheck, and assume that working more hours is the only path to earning more. Wealthy individuals understand that true financial freedom comes from developing multiple income streams that do not require direct time investment. Rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, business ownership, or royalties from creative work. Making this transition requires reducing current consumption to free up capital for investment, but it represents the only real path to financial independence. Neglecting financial education. The 11th and final reason is that most people stop learning about money after finishing school, if they ever learned about it at all. Financial markets change, tax laws evolve, and new investment opportunities emerge constantly. Someone who learned basic money management 2 decades ago but has not updated their knowledge since is operating with outdated information. Without sufficient financial literacy, people become vulnerable to bad advice, excessive fees, and get-rich-quick schemes. Committing to ongoing financial education through books, reputable websites, podcasts, or courses gives you a significant and lasting advantage. The path forward awareness is the first step toward change, and every one of these wealth-destroying behaviors can be corrected. You do not need a dramatic life overhaul. Start by defining specific, time-bound financial goals. Build even a small emergency fund. $50 set aside deliberately is better than nothing. Track every dollar you spend for 1 month. The results will likely surprise you. Automate transfers to savings before you have a chance to spend the money. Eliminate destructive debt systematically, starting with the highest interest balances. And commit to learning more about how money actually works. Wealthy people are not necessarily smarter or more disciplined than everyone else. They have simply developed better financial habits and made those habits automatic through consistent practice. The path from financial struggle to genuine security is not mysterious. It requires making different choices consistently over time, spending less on things that drain your wealth, and investing more in your future. Your financial future is not determined by your current circumstances or past mistakes. It is determined by the decisions you start making today.